had dropped 4 in a row. Lakers had won 4 in a row coming in. First quarter. Off the Lakers miss, Pelicans out and running. This will be fun. Look at Williamson coming up the wing. Josh Hart throwing it up, Williamson throwing it down. He had 11 points and 7 rebounds in the first half. Williamson. Later in the quarter, Pelicans up by 9. They really established themselves early in this game. Brandon Ingram says, hey, man, remember me? And then later, Ingram can't get that one to go, stays with it. 17 points in the first half. He shot 8 of 9 from the floor. Pelicans up 8. They led by as many as 15 in the first half. But then LeBron James distributing. Montrezl Harrell, the recipient there. James 6 assists in the first half. Took just 3 shots. Let the game come to him. Playing that point guard, point forward position, whatever you want to call it. Anthony Davis got the mid-range game working. And then bodying up on Williamson. Davis 15 points in the first half. Lakers down 1 at the half. Third quarter. Pelicans are down 2. Williamson. A man his size, able to double clutch, stay in the air, and dunk that. Unbelievable, his athleticism. Finished with 21 points and 12 rebounds. Did I mention athleticism? LeBron James still doing it at 36. Able to get up and throw it down. And then James sizing up the defense, sees the lane, and gets there. Lakers up 10 after 3. Fourth quarter, Pelicans got it back down to 4, but Lakers weren't having it. James to Harrell for the dunk, and then James to Kuzma for 3. 11 assists for LeBron James in this game. 5 minutes to play, Lakers up 17 and running away with it. James out there by himself on the perimeter. 21 points on just 11 shots as the Lakers run away with it. 112-95. They're 11-3.
Does it help, though, to have, not to have to play over 30 because you're up by 20? Is that stuff that you can sort of build up and save for later in the season, or is it irrelevant?
No, man. I'm 36 years old, 18 years in the league. Ain't no save for something for later on in the season. My body is ready to play whatever I need to play throughout the course of the game. I go hard while I'm out there, and then I start my treatment after the game. So I wish I could bank time. I wish I was Justin Timberlake in that movie where I could bank some time, but I cannot do that at this point.
Just still learning with execution and learning that if a player is going to a certain spot, we all still got to figure out what to do and spacing. Sometimes somebody's driving and we have 3 people cutting and nobody to kick it out to. And it's small things like that we just got to fix.
LeBron James and Zion Williamson each led their teams with exactly 21 points on Friday, which brings their combined total through 3 meetings to 180 points. Only 3 pairs of number 1 picks have scored more over their first 3 meetings in the common draft era, which dates back to 1966. As promised, Paul Pierce is in the house. Good to see you again, my man.
Good to see you. How you doing?
Good, good. All right, so the Lakers down 15, and then they just went to another gear and ran away with it. How'd they do it?
Well, when you have a top-notch defense and you have LeBron in the locker room at halftime, you're like, guys, we got to take it to another level. I've been on teams, once we won a championship, there was no lead we felt like we couldn't come back from. And being that the Lakers are the champs, they're like, look, it's time to turn it up. We took a half off, let them get their confidence. But look, we got another gear. We're the champs, and they just pressed the button. That's what we used to call it. Let's press the button, guys. Let's show them what we're really about, because to go from down 15 to up 20 points, the Lakers know what they're doing.
Frank Vogel said early in the season, and the players said that they were going to have to kind of work this early in the season. No real training camp, no real off season. They were right back on the court after the championship run, and they had a lot of new pieces. But now it seems like it's all working together. How'd they put it together?
Well, the guys are buying in. The new guys, Schroeder. Morris is back, a veteran who was there last year. Montrezl Harrell. These guys, they want to win a championship. Those guys are hungry, and they're keeping the energy up when they go into their video meetings, when they have, breakfast at the hotel. Those guys are hungry, and it's keeping this team's energy up. So there's not going to be, I don't expect any Laker hangover, because now LeBron's minutes are down. AD's minutes are down. They got this added depth to where they can kind of cruise through the season but still win a lot of games and turn it up once the playoffs come.
James averaging about 32 minutes per night, which is low for him.
Yes.
And the Lakers now with 5 in a row. All right, we're going to talk Mavs Bucks in just a minute. First, Neil with the highlights. Bartender.
How about an old Milwaukee? Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo hosting Dallas and Luka Doncic. There's your stars. Here comes your highlight. First quarter, Dallas down 7. Doncic splitting 2 defenders. Boy, he's so good. Nice move right there. Splits them with the hesitation. Milwaukee was up 7 after 1. Let's go to the second quarter. Antetokounmpo. Face full of Opa for Willie Cauley-Stein. Bucks up 10 there. Then Doncic to Wes Iwundu. In the quarter 3, Doncic had 10.7 assists in the first half. Antetokounmpo had 16 in the first half. Milwaukee up 7 at the break. Skip the third quarter, go to the fourth quarter. We got 4 minutes left to play. The Bucks are up 1. Antetokounmpo pulls up for the 3. He was 2 of 5 from 3. He was 1 of 10 from the free throw line. Come on, man. Ensuing Mavs possession, Doncic averaging a triple-double over his last 6 games. He was a rebound shy of that in this one. Bank open there, and then James Johnson. He doesn't have to call me Johnson, and the Mavs take a 1-point lead. Bucks have, the Mavs have had the Bucks number, beat them 11 of the last 14 times. Chris Middleton stands watching the game and goes, the 2 biggest buckets in this game were Chris Middleton's 3s. They better be in the highlight. They're in the highlight. Chris Middleton goes 4 of 9 from 3, has 25. Mavs call a timeout. All right, here we go. They've got 1 timeout left. Now, entering the final minute of play, Doncic 1 of 6 from 3, under 30 seconds to play. Mavs down 2. Trey Burke shoots the 3. Cauley-Stein, offensive rebound. He finds Porzingis. After Burks to Porzingis. Notice Doncic did not touch the ball, and afterwards said, hey, what about that timeout? Had the timeout, did not use it. Rick Carlisle says, hey, we'll handle that internally. You can see Doncic frustrated. Okay, we got under 2 seconds. One of the Lopez brothers at the free throw line. That's Brooke. Misses. Doncic. Off the board, no good. Antetokounmpo 31, Doncic 28 and 13. The Bucks 112-109.
We showed him bodies. He wasn't able to get easily to step back that he loves to do. We just made him pass the ball. It's hard. You got to be locked in for 48 minutes. But I think Drew, everybody behind Drew, did a great job, switching. And when he was going downhill, we were right there.
We played bad. I'm going to say that. I think we played bad. It wasn't our good game. But, we hang up there. We had a chance to go up in that situation. So I think we did some good things even on a bad night.
Great player, great sweatshirt. Entering Friday's game, the Bucks had outscored opponents by over 11 points per game and had played just 1 clutch time game. Their 3-point win over the Mavs is their first clutch time win of the season, becoming the last team in the league to win a game in clutch time this season. Clutch time is their new word.
All right, so they get the clutch time win. It's a close game, Paul. Mm-hmm. And Giannis Antetokounmpo is 1 for 10 from the free throw line. How much of a concern is that for you?
Well, that has to be a huge concern. And this was the concern last year about the Bucks and why people didn't pick them to go to the finals or win it last year, because down the stretch you have to wonder, could Giannis make free throws? Could he be that guy? And you see this year, this is their first clutch time win. And thanks to their defense down the stretch on Luka Doncic, and then Middleton coming up with some big threes, that was the biggest question. Who's going to be the closer for Milwaukee? Middleton showed that tonight, but we all know that the ball is going to be in their best player's hands, and can he deliver? And if you can't make free throws and you can't knock down shots, open shots or three-pointers, that's going to be a big concern come playoff time for your best player.
There he is, working it out. 72% for his career, but his numbers have been dropping at the free throw line over the last 5 years. He's still an MVP-type player, though. Luka Doncic picked by a lot of critics NBA analysts as the MVP frontrunner this season. You still going with that?
Well, he's well on his way, as you see the numbers tonight. Close to averaging a triple-double. If he can get a few more wins toward the end of the year to where you got the Dallas Mavericks sitting in the top 4 position, then yes, because the numbers are going to be there for him. But to the victor goes the spoils. And we all know if you don't win a lot of games, then you won't get that MVP trophy. It may end up in the hands of LeBron with the Lakers being in first place.
Yep. But we'll see. Doncic, Does a lot of things. Does a lot of things well.
Absolutely. He's fun to watch, man. I enjoy watching him every night. It's good to see Porzingis back also. He should give them a big lift.
Good to see you, too. It's the truth and nothing but the truth.
There's a restaurant next door to our studio here called Shaquille's or Shaquile's, as my wife put it. She's not a huge sports fan. Shaq's beloved by Laker Nation. Rings do that, so the restaurant a block from where the Lakers play makes sense. Now, James Harden opening a restaurant in Houston. That's a tougher one to swallow. The steakhouse is named 13, Harden's number with the Rockets. Except now he's wearing 13 for the Nets. 13, the Chop House, is scheduled to open this month. It's getting reviews already, and one comment reads, doesn't quite have that championship taste. Will 13 deliver?
After the bubble, after that loss, just wanted to reevaluate my career and the team and the direction that the organization was going. And, you know, as time went on and free agency and things like that started to go on, it was like, well, I felt like we didn't have a chance, you know, and so I think at the point in my career, it's not about money. It's not about anything else but having a chance at reaching the ultimate goal. Is to winning at the highest level.
From your post-game comments after the Lakers lost to what your teammates were saying about you as far as being disrespectful, it got pretty ugly at the end of your tenure in Houston. Is there any part of you that regrets the way that it ended?
I wasn't disrespectful to anyone. Those guys had just got there, Houston. I've been there for a very long time. I've been through all the ups and downs, with that organization. And I wasn't disrespectful towards anyone. You know, I just made a comment. So there were some things I felt like out of my character. But the ultimate goal was to get somewhere, where I can compete. And here I am in Brooklyn. You know, I have nothing but love and respect for that organization, that city, and everything that they've done for me and my family. And it's not a guarantee to me coming to Brooklyn is, guaranteeing the title. But I think for me, giving myself a chance is very, very important. And I mean, you just look at this entire roster and it's built for any style of basketball you want. And then the coaching staff who, knows the game of basketball at a high level. You just add that all together and it's like, that's a legit chance right there. It was a no-brainer for me.
All right, so after all, we couldn't let Paul go without talking about this. Okay, so now you got James Harden added to a team with Kyrie Irving, we think, and Kevin Durant, all ball-dominant players.
Yeah.
Let's talk about on the court first. How's this going to work?
Well, it's going to have to be some type of sacrifice. Who's going to be able to not have the ball in their hands when they're used to having it in their hands most of the time? And if these players are true to themselves and they say to each other, we want to win a championship, then you're going to have to take the sacrifice, which means we're not going to see all these isolation plays that we're used to seeing from James Harden in Houston. We're not going to see Kyrie dribble the ball 24 seconds until he can get a shot. This is Durant's team, and everything has to go through Durant. And if they can understand that, this team has a great chance. But listen, who doesn't want this trio on the court? Because they have all the ingredients. And one of the main ingredients to win a championship is you have to have a top 5 player. If you look at it every year. Yeah. And they have 2 of them.
Okay, so you say it's Durant's team, okay?
That's Durant's team.
On the floor, okay? So now we get to the locker room, and these are some complex personalities that we have, all 3 of them. How does that work? Well, you said Steve Nash has the toughest job in North American pro sports?
Steve Nash has the toughest coaching job in sports because not only does he have to probably redesign this offense, he has to manage egos. He has to make sure everybody's happy. And now the pressure's on. Yeah. It's championship or bust in Brooklyn.
And it's his first year.
Hey,
as a coach.
It's his first year. And so that's why I feel like he has the toughest job because you got a guy with no coaching experience, coaching 2 of the top 5 players in the league. Kyrie is arguably top 10. And so there's a lot of pressure there in Brooklyn to win a championship.
If you had to guess right now, I put you on the spot, how far do they go?
I believe this team can get to the finals. There's no excuse. You got Durant. Wherever Durant goes, you have finals. You have finals on your mind. And then you add Harden. And you have Kyrie. This team can go to the finals.
All right. If they can keep it together.
If they can keep it together, they can sacrifice.
All right. Appreciate it.